Look, kid, bad things happen, and you can't do anything about it, right? Wrong. When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on them.
That's not what I was told.
Then maybe you need to listen. Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Hello everybody, Ali Sharaki here. Thank you for coming to my live. I don't know if we are live or not. If you're live, can you wave or something or say something? Are we live? Seems like everybody's internet got problem. Anyway, today I want to talk about the different part of the brain and how the steps we can take to help us to reduce anxiety, depression. Thank you, James, for watching. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, today I want to talk about the different part of the brain and how each part is working, and how right now your brain is focusing on the coronavirus and is making you anxious and depressed and all this stress. I try my best to not to go to the explanation of metaphysics too much, because I know nobody's got the patience for big word and all these things. I try to explain it to you guys as simple as possible. It's quite hard, but I try my best. This is a scientific version of it, and how the science explain the revolutionary part of the brain, and how the brain is being revolutionized far away from the creation rule, and how the creator, it says, the human was born and created. So this is how the science says, and the evolutionary theory explains this. Now we have to understand the ultimate healing only comes when we have the understanding of fundamental reality of our own existence. Until we don't have that understanding, the ultimate healing is not going to be here. And that means to be present, to be where we are in that moment and enjoy the moment. The ultimate healing also comes when we lose all the fear, especially the fear of death. When you are not scared of dying, you are not worried about anything, because you don't have no fear. You are more connected to your inner peace, to yourself. And when you are connected more to yourself and inside yourself with your source of creation, then you are more closer to your holiness, which is a different explanation and a different discussion, and we're going to be talking about it in a different video. In this video I want to talk about the brain and how people get anxiety and depression and become anxious. Dan Siegel is a neuropsychologist and psychiatrist, and he, inside his book, he explains about the human brain and how the human brain forms. And he holds the picture like this in his hand. He says, imagine this is the brain. This part is your intellectual brain, which is a cerebral cortex. Inside there, when you open it, there is a limbic brain, which is emotional brain. And then you have the hypothalamus, which is your midbrain, and it controls all the hormones inside for fear and everything. Now when you look at it, this part, which is your intellectual brain, It only activates when you engage in discussion, thinking process, or when you're having a reflection or doing something which is to do with your logic, and you have to think to be able to get to the answer. The other part, which is your limbic brain, is your emotional brain, and the emotional brain it only activates when you have to deal with something with your emotion. The other part of your brain, which is your hypothalamus, and is connected to your I wrote down the name here because it's very difficult. Pituitary part. I call it midbrain, or everybody else call it midbrain. I don't want to go to too much of big words for everybody. Is no point of it. But the midbrain, which controls your fear and your hormone. Now, the funny part is this. The intellectual brain is only 4 million years old. The emotional brain is about 100 million years old. The midbrain, which is here on the middle, is 300 million years old. They call it reptilian brain as well. What does that mean? Means before the intellectual brain was developed and before the emotion, we had the fear. Even reptiles, dinosaurs, they had a fear. Now, that only activates when you are being scared of something, or you have to run away from something, or somebody attacks you, or you are in an accident, or you are in a situation where you have to do something to get away, or fight, or defend yourself. Now, that part of the brain is 300 million years old. What does that mean? More than being an intellectual creatures, we are emotional. And more than being emotional, we are controlled by fear, because the fear part of the brain is more older. It's been there for much more longer than the emotional part and also the intellectual part. Even, that's why from the caveman, even we had this fear. The caveman, they used to be scared of something, they used to attack it, they used to fight it, and they used to get these hormones out of themselves by doing something about it. At this stage, this age, we can't do none of the stuff. We can't run away. We can't. We just sitting at home, reading the news, watching the news, reading social media, getting verbal attack from people, and we can't do anything about it. We hold on to it and we hold it to ourselves, and that's quite dangerous, because what happened is when you are scared of something, you have fear of something, you have a chaos inside your body. You have a chaos in your body. What does chaos means? All your hormones runs when your body feels like you've been attacked or is a danger waiting for you. All your body suddenly start creating all these hormones for you to be ready to run away, to do something, to defend yourself. The problem with that is you have a hormone chaos inside your body now. All your body has been focused to be able to defend you and run away or fight, and that causes a problem, because then the part of your brain which has to control the hormones to defend your inside body for a virus to attack you and then you can defend yourself is being dismantled at the moment, is weaker, because you are focusing on fight with the outside. This virus is not the fight with the outside, it's fight with inside. So what you need to do, you need to stay in control, not to panic, and try to make your inside more stronger. What does that mean? It means by breathing, by meditation, by praying if if you have faith. Make your inside more stronger so you can stay in control. When you panic and you make your body feel like you've been attacked from outside, your body gets ready to fight with the outside environment enemy. The COVID-19 is not the outside enemy. It comes in, is within, it comes inside, and when it's inside, your body is looking for an enemy outside and it doesn't even know what to do. That's why you're anxious, because you don't know where you are getting attacked from. So it's very important to make your immune system more stronger, not your fight system. Your fight system with outside, like a boxer, You don't want all your energy to be focused with the fight with the outside. You want your energy to be focused to fight with inside you. So inside is stronger. Your immune system is more stronger. You don't want that hormone chaos. You want the balance of hormones inside your body, so your brain can think in that moment, where does you have to send all this and defend your body. Now, very important to understand the power of meditation. When you meditate and you practice breathing, there's a rule, there's a formula I usually use. I learned it from my mentor, Deepak Chopra. He called it the STOP formula. STOP formula means S for stop. Anytime you feel panic or you feel stress, just stop there and then. T is for take a breath, and with a smile. It's very important to have a smile on as well. When you are breathing, breathe with a smile 3 times, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, and 2 seconds hold in between. That's very important, yeah? And take 3 breathers. STO, observe your feeling. Observe your feeling and your emotion. The camera fall off. I think it's too hot in there. That's it. Yeah, observe. The O for a stop is to observe your feeling inside, how you feel in that moment. And P for this is working. Are we live still, guys? The camera fall off. I don't know if you're live still or not. Are we live still? Nothing is moving. Are we live? If you are live, if you can write something so I know we are live and we continue with it. I think we are live. And the P for precaution in choices. When you are making choices to what to do, that's very important. So stop. S for stop for a second. Don't do nothing. Just be present. And T for taking a breather 3 times with a smile. 4 seconds to breathe in, 6 seconds to breathe out, and 2 second gap in between to hold 3 times. O, observe your feeling inside and see how you feel. And the P, precaution of choice. What choices you make in that moment? Are you going to react to it, or you are not going to react to it? It's very important to be in charge and in control. Now, if you are not making a conscious choice of react to it or not to react to it, that's a difference between you panicking or being stressed or not. Now, when you are on social media, you're watching social media, this is the personal experience. First few days when this virus started, I was on social media, on news, following every single case of the death of coronavirus and how many people died today, what happened today. What happened after 3 or 4 days, and I was watching all these videos of people dying and on hospital beds and people crying and all these things. All of them got to me suddenly, and I start to create my own images in my own head and what's gonna happen when I get the COVID-19, and I start to make a story of me having a COVID-19 and keep going forward and how I'm gonna get it, how I'm gonna be sick, how painful it's gonna be, and how I'm gonna die. That caused me to start to panic, start to be scared of dying. And I don't have no fear of dying normally, because I already died once in 2010, and I don't have no fear of dying. But this time I never had this experience, because I watched so much of this media, and I watched all these people dying on the bed, and I watched all this news and how many people are dying and how easily this virus kills you. That all together caused me to have that panic as well for 3 or 4 days. I couldn't even sleep because I kept washing my hand and keep spraying my hand and being worried because I started making this story in my own head. What happened is I activated the part of my brain which it has to get me ready for a fight with the enemy outside. But there is no enemy outside. With me not sleeping, I'm reducing my immune system. So if I get the virus, my body is not strong enough to be able to fight with this virus. So I had to make myself calm. I started to do meditation, breathing practices, and I started to make myself calmer. Then my brain calmed down. My hormones start to have balance. Start to take multivitamins to make my body stronger. Because I realized there is no fight outside. I'm getting ready for a fight outside. That's why it's very important, guys. First of all, stop watching the news. Stop watching all these horrible videos outside, and people are dying, and this virus is here. Is gonna go. Just follow the advice of the government. But also, I'm not here to just tell you to follow the advice of the government, but also do meditation. Meditation is very important. Once or twice a day, do meditation. If you don't know how to do meditation, write the comment, and I set up a live meditation. Obviously, because of this meditation is copyrighted. The technique I've been learning from Tony Robbins is copyrighted. I can't put them on the social media, but I can put it in a private group. I have a group. If you want, I can teach you guys for free inside that group to how to do the meditation and everything. If you have problem with meditation, or you can just search on YouTube and learn it. But if you like to be in a group also, you can write a comment, and I don't mind. I would love to be able to help. But what you need to understand right now, the midbrain of your brain is activated, is ready to fight with the enemy, but is making a mistake. Is not the enemy with outside. That's why you're stressed. When you have all these hormones ready to fight, that's why you're stressed. That's why you are anxious, because you are worried you're going to get attacked. But this is not the attack you're going to get from outside. It's the attack within inside. So you need to make sure you're calm and you let your brain to stay in charge, but not stress. And by meditation, you can help your brain to improve your immune system. There's no point being stressed about this. If you need to talk to anybody, I'm always here for you to talk, and just let me know. Next video, I'm going to talk about how the electromagnet of the body and the negative thought affects your immune system as well. See you later in next video.